Thank you for the beautiful worship session. I now request our dear Principal Ma'am, Dr. P. Devasundari, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Dia. Very good morning to all. It's my pleasure to welcome you all this morning, to celebrate the spirit of Madras on this special August 22nd, the Madras Day. At this juncture, my sincere gratitude and thanks to our chairperson, Dr. Elizabeth Verghese, Director and CEO, Dr. Anand Jacob Verghese, and Director, Dr. Annie Jacob, for their continuous inspiration and motivation to host all such days, celebrate all these on our campus. Of course, Chennai is a city and Madras is an emotion. That's what the entire day of the creatives talk about. When you will really feel all that emotion, in my personal experience, I just have to share you with this. I have traveled across few countries and have stayed outside India for a few years. Trust me, when you see a Madrasi, when you are far away from your land, the friendship that momentarily develops, the feel that Madras itself is a single home. And that is what Madras is all about. It is always an emotion for all of us. And you all will experience, when you experience it, you all will feel that emotion also. And today we have a set of parents and students to share their experience of Idu Namma Ooru Pola Aguma. Hearty welcome to all the parents, Mr. Richard Pope, Ms. Reena, Ms. Sunita, Mr. Jose, and the students, Joyandria, third year aeronautical, Ms. Rujula, final year ECE, Nina, second year IT, and Ms. Kamalika, third year EEE. A hearty welcome and also thanks to each and every one of you for spending your Sunday with us. Again, to quote from my own personal experience, I have worked for some financial client in US for 3 years. I had Iranian, Russian, Native Americans, all of them in my team. Trust me, I have come across colleagues who don't even know about IIT. They would have never heard about IIT, but not even one person who doesn't know about Anna University. Anna University is such a pride to have in Chennai. And we are also proud to say that KCG College is one of the most preferred college amongst the engineering colleges under Anna University. And not just about the engineering education, take whether it is TI cycles in Ambattur, Royal Enfield, Bharat Benz, Daimler, all these plants in Oragadam, Hyundai in Sri Perumbudur, and get into the military vehicles, HVF, ICF, Navy ships in Kattupalli. We are very proud to say that we are the Detroit of Asia. And not just only the automobile or mechanical sectors, with all the major IT consultancy services in India, you all know that the manpower to all of these consultancy services goes from Chennai, from Madras, and we also house a number of startups. We are known for aero industries. It's not about just being good in one skill. One skill. Of course, we are good in engineering skills. It is not about the specialty is we are not just good in one field. We are into all engineering fields, whether it is IT, automobile, aeronautical, everything. So to talk more about all this, today we have Mr. Thiru Sivashankar Babu, who has a wide experience working in all these industries with us to share about engineering in Madras. And also, I extend my warm welcome to our Dean Student Affairs, Head of Departments, all my colleagues, and my dear students. Also, on behalf of KCG College of Technology, once again, a very warm and hearty welcome to all who have joined us today to witness this virtual session. Thank you so much. Looking forward for the session.
Thank you, ma'am, for addressing the gathering. Now I request Dr. Kavita Balamurugan, HOD of ECE Department, to introduce our chief guest.
Thank you, Divya. Good morning to everyone. Today, August 22, Madras Day, a city that has given job, life, fame, and identity to many people. 380 years, and still we are going strong. Celebrate our wonderful city. Being a Chennaiite, I feel very happy on this special day to invite our chief guest, Mr. Sivashankar Babu, who is a techno-functional banker with 39 plus years service in financial services industry. He has a passion for mentoring, travel, and spreading heritage awareness. After 15 years of service in Indian Overseas Bank, he worked in IT companies like Hexaware, Wipro, Capgemini for 20 years. For the past 4 years, Mr. Sivashankar Babu is doing domain consulting through his own company, Techno Bankers. He handles mentoring sessions for final year BE students for campus placement in leading institutions and also supports final year placement guidance. Mr. Sivashankar is part of Tamil Heritage Trust, which focuses on spreading heritage awareness. His YouTube channel, Babu for Heritage, is a go-to place for heritage videos where curated content is available. He is also working on entry-level guide for beginners on Tamil Nadu temple architecture, features and developments that is going to be released soon. He has also attended courses in ancient scripts like Tamil Brahmi, Vattelettu, Grantham to read inscriptions and at present studying PG diploma in archaeology from International Institute of Tamil Studies, Chennai. With this brief introduction, I welcome you, sir, to address everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sometimes all you need is an awesome guest to make you feel complete in the family. I invite Thiru Sivasankar Babu, consulting partner, Techno Bankers, to address the audience.
Thank you all. First of all, before I begin my talk, my sincere thanks to the KCG management, Dr. Devasundari, principal, and my MCC colleague, Dr. Amruta, and Kavita ma'am, who gave a fairly detailed introduction. So today, we are going to talk about Madras Archi and its engineering capabilities from ages. So I'm going to take around 15 minutes of your time. Am I audible, clear?
Yes, sir, you're clear.
Okay. So this is about Chennai. The principal madam talked about her emotions. Whenever we go abroad and then when you come back, the first thing we see is the Chennai beach, and it creates so much of emotions. I have experienced it personally many times on my frequent trips to US, UK and other things. And the joy you get when you cross over from the sea into Marina Beach and start landing, there is a great experience. So with this positive experience and with this background, I start the presentation. When we talk about Chennai or Madras, its engineering skills go back a long, long way. Can you, any of you guess what is the oldest part of Chennai city? Any guesses from the audience?
Mylapore?
No.
Nattesan Park.
Rayapuram, sir. Rayapuram.
No.
Tantaram, sir.
No. Actually, this is not Mylapore, this is not Rayapuram, this is not Paris, this is not any of the Mount Road, not even Adyar. It is my own area, Pallavaram.
I don't know Pallavaram.
Yeah, people have been living there from Paleolithic, 3 million years ago, during rock age. It is one of the famous settlement. And in 1863, Robert Bruce discovered Pallavaram axe. Okay, it's a small implement. அந்த காலத்திலே கல் விட்ட மக்கள் தமிழ் பரம்பரை. வெறுமன கல் விட்டதுல இருந்து குச்சியில கல் வச்சு அதை ஒரு கோடேரியா கண்டுபிடிச்சு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இன்வென்ஷன்ல இருந்த பீரியட்ல இருந்து people were living here. So it was invented, Robert Bruce found it in 1863, Pallavaram axe. He fondly calls it as a Madras stone axe factory. So Madras has been doing industrial revolution for 3 million years now. So we should be proud of that. So from there, in Sangam period, Madras was mentioned, and a town very famous, a busy area in Kodambakam is the main center at that time. Can I guess that? It was Puliyur Kotam. Thondamandalam was the area, and Puliyur Kotam was a part and subdivision or a district of it, which was the famous area known around this place. So this is from Sangam area. It has been mentioned in different names. Coming to 7th century, the Devaram poets and alvars has sung about 4 major extremities of Chennai. Thiruvanmiyur in central, Mylapore, Triplicane, Thiruvettriyur on north, and Mylapore on east, and Tirumulavayil. All have Devaram and Alvar songs sung on them. This dates are around 7th century. So this is old. And from there, it has been continuously part of the development. And Thondaimandalam was part of Kanchipuram, and it expanded. And the focus at the time was more on Kanchipuram and Mahabalipuram, which grew into fairly big cities. And Chennai was on a satellite kind of structure. Interestingly, there is a debate going on. Is it Chennaiya illa ida? Emotion and name irukku, but kallulla vetnadu inscription is there in 1367 during Kampana period, Penneswara Madam inscription, which talks about Sadarangapattinam, Kovalam, Neelangarai, Pudupattinam. Neelangarai என்றது நீலாங்கரையர் பட்டணம், Madarasapattinam. All these are in inscription. So Madras is a documented name from early period according to inscriptions. Okay. So there comes the next interesting part about Sir Francis Day purchasing from the Vijayanagara Nayakas, Damarla Chennappa Nayakana. Okay. So he purchased a land. At the time, British wanted to expand. And they had Sadras and other sides, downside Adaya, they had French under control. On the upper side, Pulicat and other things, they had Dutch under control. So they wanted some input in between. They chose the Coom River, which was a estuary, and they chose on the Coom River banks to start a new city. So this is was purchased, and in 1639, the original deed of document is still available in Chandragiri as a document, and it is preserved. The sample is also preserved there. Whoever goes to Chandragiri, this is on near Tirupati, you can see the document. This is how the modern Chennai started, which was a Madarasapattinam in prior times. Devasundari Madam started about talking about the fairly detailed advanced sketches in Chennai with so many factories, and it being called the Detroit of India with so many factories and so many engineering aspects. In the next 10 minutes, I am going to talk about how this foundation was done and developed in the 150 years by Britishers. And in many situations, Chennai was unique in having the first achiever in many of the engineering innovations, which are now being used regularly across the Indian continent. 1688, Chennai Corporation was formed. It was the oldest municipal corporation in India. There is an interesting fact. In 1746, they had a battle, and for a brief period, it was under French control. And there was a fight to recapture the Chennai by French. The famous Adayar battle happened in 1758, where Chennai was supported by the Arcad Nawab and his 10,000 men, who were defeated by a structured and disciplined force of 1,000 persons from French. This was a turning point in the Indian history, in the sense that how a structured and disciplined force can handle 10 times its force. And then realizing that, Britishers formed Madras Regiment. This was the first military regiment formed in India, and this was formed in Chennai. It was formed in 1758 with Indian officers and havildars, and it has been in forefront of engineering innovations in military. Going on, in 1786, they formed the first observatory in India, Madras Observatory, and it has been a trend-setting observatory till it was shifted to Allahabad to align with Indian Meridian. So it has been credited with a lot of firsts. Now, coming to engineering colleges. Technically, the first engineering college in India was founded in Chennai in terms of 1794 itself. It was originally started as Madras School of Service in 18, and then later on, it got converted into engineering college in 1858. But by the time, 3 of the earlier colleges have already been designated as engineering colleges and started as engineering colleges. So officially, it's the 3rd oldest, but when you start from origin, it is oldest, 1794. So the foundations were laid here. Interestingly, this observatory, which was started in 1786, created in 1802 the Madras Standard Time. We had 3 standard times, one in Calcutta, another one in Mumbai, and another one in Madras. So the rails in southern region used to run according to Madras Standard Time, which is 82.5 east and 5 hours and 20 minutes behind GMT. Sorry, ahead of GMT. So this, to commemorate this, the fort used to do a gun blast in the morning as well as in the evening, 6 o'clock, sunrise and sunset. And people used to note the time based on it. இதுதான் வந்து இந்த கன் டைம்னு சொல்றாங்க. கன் டைம்ல வந்து சேர்ந்துட்டாங்க, கன் டைம்ல போயிட்டான்னு சொல்றாங்கல்ல மெட்ராஸ் ஸ்பெஷல். This is the source of the gun time. And the Madras Observatory continued its activities. In 1802, first trigonometric survey, that is measurement of land according to the trigonometric survey, was started in Chennai. For India, Chennai was the first observatory point, and St. Thomas Mount was the first 0-point reference point for entire India. All these measurements originated from here only, from St. Thomas Mount. They did St. Thomas Mount to Perumbakam Hill, 12 kilometers away, height and declination. And then from there, they extended triangle and measured all the way up to Mount Everest. Another achievement of Sir Everest was that after Lamberton completed his stint, Sir Everest took over, and then he continued the trigonometric survey. So Everest is known for 2 things, for scaling Everest and for the trigonometric survey. In 1806, the city is expanding, And first canal, saltwater navigation canal was done, Buckingham Canal, and from Ennur to Pulicat for 18 kilometers. This now expanded, and now it is designated as National Waterway number 4, which runs to around 1,000 kilometers all the way up to from Marakanam all the way up to Kakinada and beyond. Now coming, very engineering will not be complete when except starting about railways. In 1832, the first proposal for railways was done in India, that too in Madras. Many of the history buffs say that the first passenger train was done in 1853, Mumbai to Thane. That has been taught in our schools. But what many people don't know is that the first railway started from Chennai. That too from Chindadiripet to Red Hills. Okay. This was a railway used to be Arthur Cotton. You all know Arthur Cotton, who was the pioneer in building many dams in Andhra, the Rajamundri and other barrages. So what he used to do is, from Red Hills, he was bringing the rocks and other things for building dams and other things to Chindadiripet. So it is a downhill railways. It is an interesting railway. So from Chindadiripet, all the rocks will be loaded in the train and somebody will manually push, and then by gravity it comes to Chindadiripet. Okay, return empty, people will push and manually the carriages will go back to Red Hills. So this is the first official railway line in India. Then another 3 years, 1840, Simpson started, which is one of the oldest engineering companies in India. And they have been making engines and coaches for all the things for ages. And still now, if you look at Amalgamations Group, they own almost half of Madras industry. The entire coverage is there. They are into all things. Having started in this, in 1845, Madras Railway started the first rail to connect to Valaja, Arcot, which was a strategic fork for them. So in 1856, Rayapuram was the terminal and it started operations to Arcot. It is one of the oldest railway stations in India still functioning. Even now, Rayapuram is a station, major terminus. And interestingly, it has got also a loco shed now. And it is of very, very great heritage importance. Another 10 years back, next, 1864, we got our shopping complex. Shopping complexes are not something new which came in here. Spencer's complex was started in 1864. So shopping is not a new phenomenon. And talking about history, one of the famous Indians and to Tamil Nadu home Chettis were well known in the circles. He was Rao Sahib Nam Perumal Chetty, who was a building contractor and who was very enterprising. And he is credited with building many of the Chennai's landmarks, BTA, Museum, YMCA, Law College, Kanimara Library, all. He used to have his own brick kilns, and all these buildings were known for its chamber bricks, red bricks, beautiful structure. Interestingly, he also used to have a feeder tram line on his own for supplying to Madras Railways, and he also had a personal train in Chennai for his own travel. It is not for public, his own personal train. So he was one of the guys. Before the airplane days, people used to have a personal car. He was the first person in Chennai to native Indian to own a car when it got introduced. And he was the first person to have a personal train in his name at the time. So we had pioneers like this in industry and engineering and construction. Now, the end of 19th century, 1895, Madras introduced tramway, and this was the first, and it was the oldest tramway in India. Later, Calcutta, Bombay electrical tramways also came later. That is in 1902, 1905. Chennai is the oldest electrical tramway in India, but it got dismantled and converted. But whereas Calcutta is still running. Then coming to the hotel industry, 1996, Hotel d'Angles was started by Giacomo. This is one of the modern European standard hotels at the time. Can you guess the place where the Mount Road Bata is now in the circle? That is a place where Hotel d'Angles was there. That was the modern hotel with electrical lift, hot water, running water, geyser, and everything. So hotel industry itself, by 1906, engineering marvels do appear. This person, Giacomo, was also credited with one more engineering innovation. Normally, people say that 1912, India got their first airplane flight. Okay, but 2 years before that, Giacomo did build his own biplane, and he put it on trial and showed it on trial, and it was the first powered airplane flight in Asia. So the demo was done in Pallavaram in the old Meenambakkam stretch, and it was in 10th March 1910. So even in airplane, we are the first. And in 1914, we got the dubious credit of getting attracted, and Chennai was so much famous even by World War I time that it was the only city in entire India which was attacked in World War I. It shows the strategic importance and the industrial power of Chennai at the time. So that is the famous incident of SMS Emden coming into outer harbor and bombing the hell out of Chennai, and it scared so much that half of the Chennai evacuated in the next 2-3 days. So that was the interesting aspect of Chennai. So if you see this from 1786 to 1886, 1914, in the 100 years, Chennai boasts of so many new innovations, and its foundation for the engineering in India. Many of the innovations were started from Chennai and then later on expanded and implemented into Bombay and in Calcutta, which are the two other power centers for British. The Delhi came in very late, where the power shifted, which is a fairly new city. But Chennai has been the center of engineering from 16th century onwards. Okay, I'm not talking about the marvels of grand temples of Cholas and other things, which were engineering marvel even at 10th centuries. Even in 18th centuries, we were great in engineering, and we did the foundation for modern India to a great extent. So long live Chennai, long live Madras. I leave it with this emotion, and I am proud to say that I am part of Chennai and its engineering heritage. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving us a great opportunity to talk about Chennai heritage. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening our celebration with your great thoughts. Fill your heart with thoughts of art, idli, vada, dosa, along with music and masala. Never was there a festival that could beat the December cultural extravaganza of Carnatic art. Chepakin Beach with ice house and hot coffee beats with any weather for a toffee. Namma Chennai, Namma Chennai. Sorgame endralum, adu namma ooru pola varuma. Now, I request Dr. Amrita, Assistant Professor of SNH Department, to moderate the talk show. And I also welcome all the participants. Joandria Philomena Pope of Aeronautical Department,